Could you imagine being flattened by one of them? Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you can catch up on all the latest videos I put out. Wide variety of videos that come out on my channel, interested in a lot of different things. But today I thought I would take the time just to share the story of the day I was absolutely poleaxed by a big red stag here in New Zealand. It was New Year's Day 2013. Might have been 2012. Honestly, I actually can't really remember. I don't know. It was 12 years ago, something like that anyway. So what was happening is we're in a forestry block going pig hunting. So we had dogs on the back. I think from memory I was sitting on the back of the ute as well with the dogs. I can't really remember. It was that long ago now. But we were heading down the road, just cruising along. It was early morning, probably I think it was about 7, just something like that, 7:30. Just sort of on that break of day, where you can sort of see about maybe 500-600 meters ahead of you up the road. And yeah, driving along, and it was about 2-3 maybe 300 meters up in front of us. I spotted, I think it was about five fallow deer. And if you're not sure what a fallow deer is, that one there's a fallow stag. But yeah, so they were just cruising across the road, like they weren't in any rush or anything. They're just cruising across. So we thought, oh well, I'll have a crack at trying to get one of those. Of course, they'd all just sort of gone across the road into the other side, into the pines there. And then so we drove up and parked back about 100 meters, 150 meters from where they went in, and I just quietly walked up, because if you don't know anything about fallow deer, they're quite inquisitive animals, very similar to goats and sheep and that. Like they're by no means they're not a dumb animal, but out of the deer species they're probably one of the dumbest ones around. And yeah, I only had the 22 Magnum, so if you're not sure what a 22 Magnum is, be sure to check out. I'll be putting a video up in the next couple of days about different calibers of starting off rifles. But it's only a small bullet, small cartridge, small projectile, but ideal for shooting fallow anyway at closer ranges. I've shot plenty of reds as well with 22s and 22 Magnums. But yeah, so I snuck in there, following their prints where they'd gone and off the road, and they had a mate with me. And we're sort of walking along, and I could smell the fallow. But then, it was a bit hard, just sort of couldn't pick where they were. It was underneath the pines, it wasn't all completely open. There was quite a lot of manuka, and we were following a bit of a game trail through this sort of more open patch of manuka. And anyway, we were sort of heading this way, and then back behind me, we could hear this weird noise, and you could hear this da-doof, 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 da-doof. And we had a couple of bigger dogs at the time, and I just thought they were only young, like they were 18 months old or something. And I was just sort of more thinking that, it's just them being idiots. Anyway, you could hear it getting closer and closer, so we just stood there thinking, the dogs are just going to turn up in a minute, just trying to follow me. And then you could hear it getting closer and closer and closer, and I was standing on one side of this game trail, and then my mate's standing on the other side, and he's sort of standing by a tree. And I'm standing there with the rifle, and there's manuka sort of in front of us now where we're looking. It's about 7.5, 8 foot. Like it was sort of, like a good head and shoulders above me, at least. And then all of a sudden, here's this big big red, like bigger head than that. Easy 12. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, like antlers were pretty bloody long. And it was just very, very lucky that he was still in soft velvet and hadn't already started to harden underneath. Like, there was a slight bit of hardness there in his velvet, but it wasn't hard. Anyway, so we're looking, and yeah, you've seen the stag just start, you've seen his front legs start coming up and over, and it was so weird. It was like it all played out in slow motion. He comes up and over, and before he's even hitting the ground, he's like looking at me, looking at my mate, looking at me again, looking at my mate, and my mate had already got round behind a bit of a pine tree looking, and then the stag just looks at me, and I'm still standing there because I sort of have this bad habit of, I do it with bulls, with anything, like I just stand my ground. I don't move nothing, and I'm standing there. And straight away my brain's going, well, there's no point in trying to put a bullet in him because he's too big, and it's going to be too much of a rush shot with a 22 Magnum to guarantee I'm even going to bloody drop him. Like, I've shot stags that big with a 22 before and a 22 Magnum, but just in that scenario, I wasn't gonna try. Anyway, yeah. So as his front feet hit the ground, he's already lined me up, and he's got his head down. And I'm just thinking, oh shit, like, here we go. And yeah, so he landed probably, it was maybe 4 meters from me when he actually landed on the ground, and like, he cleared that manuka, like just completely cleared it. He hit the ground, and he had already had me lined up, and yeah, so I was on his right. So he's got me lined up, and he just goes, poof, just absolutely just smokes me. So what happened was he hit me on actually hit my thigh, like just near my groin area, and I don't know how, but it was actually his brow tines got me. It wasn't the tops of his antlers, which, if you know anything about deer too, by January for your bigger mature stags, they're starting to harden, and their brow tines, of course, are those front tines. Where are we? Front tines there. They're the ones that start to harden first, of course, because as the antlers grow, what's growing first, that starts to harden and it makes its way up. And yeah, so he hit me, absolutely just flattened me onto the ground, and I was lucky that he just boom, just smacked me over and then just carried on, because yeah, if he had have carried on bloody trying to get me, then I would have put one in him, but it wouldn't have been pleasant. But yeah, he hit me, flattened me, and then sort of as I rolled over, he just started taking off. He sort of took one look back and then carried on, but he was a very lucky stag that I didn't have the bloody 44 or something, because I would have put one fucking in him probably before he even hit me, and then I would have put another one in him as he was on his way out. But yeah, it's just it was such a weird thing. Like, it feels, even remembering it feels like it's in complete slow motion the way it happened. But yeah, it's one of those things that sort of, you'll never forget it. And I guess it's just one of those things too, that it's an experience you have out hunting that a lot of people some people probably think, oh, I'm fortunate not to have an experience like that. But then I kind of look at it and I think, fuck, like, you're kind of unfortunate, because I don't know, I'm just somebody that's really, really into adrenaline rushes, and for me that was like, I've always wanted to be charged by a stag too, especially like in the raw. Like, I know some people think, oh, you're bloody nuts and that sort of thing, but I don't know, for me that's why I prefer pig hunting over deer hunting, and most of my deer hunting is done during the raw, because it's just way more full on and exciting, close quarters sort of, you're right in the face of everything. And I guess that's why for me too, like, your normal deer stalking and that, like, I watch videos on YouTube and stuff of people out deer hunting and stuff, and like, yeah, it's cool, but for me personally, I get quite bored of it. It just doesn't have that full-on adrenaline rush that I like. But yeah, so he buggered off, and I managed to get myself up, and my mate helped me, and we hobbled back out to the road. And like I was literally pretty much dragging my leg, and I had this big like burn graze across my leg, and we were pissing ourselves laughing. But yeah, bloody drive up round the corner there, dogs take off, barrel off the bloody side of the ute, and I think go about 150 off the road, 150 metres, and grabbed a pig. And this is one part that I still can't forget to this day either, because it's sort of, it's a mentality thing. Like a lot of people after that would have just, you know, been like, oh no, stuff it, bloody stay in the ute, whatever. Here I am with one leg basically dragging it. I barrel off as well, get to the pig first, stick it, already have it gutted before my mate turns up, ready to bloody go back out to the road. But I guess that's just one point that I want to put across too, is you know, whatever happens in life, you know, say you're out hunting or you're out fishing or I don't know, whatever it is, and say something like that sort of happens where you might get a bit injured, or you know, something bad goes wrong or whatever. Don't give up. Like it's all mental toughness. You gotta bloody, you know, callous your brain to pain, and I guess for me it's something that I was already used to pain anyway, with dealing with all the stuff I've dealt with for years. But yeah, it's just one of those days that I thought I wanted to share and sort of put across to people, and it would be interesting in the comments if anybody can drop any you know, little stories or whatever that they may have experienced, whether it be, you know, on a farm with stock, or whether it's out hunting in the bush, or whether it's, I don't know, like people all around the world. You know, there's so many different species of animals. Like you say you're in Alaska, you could have got charged by a bear. As crazy as it sounds, that's something, you know, I'd love to go over there and go bear hunting and you know, have that risk there. It's just something that I've always been really into. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the story. Hope to see you, you know, in a few more episodes. And yeah, I'll be sure to share some other stories of some of those boars up there. There's some stories to share about even. A couple of them are on YouTube already, videos of when I caught them. Some of them aren't, some of them are, a couple of them, what are we? Yeah, one of them definitely was before I started YouTube, three of them actually. So 3 of those 5 were before I started YouTube, which one of them was 2013, another one was just before I started YouTube, another one was 2016, I think. I just got those ones up there because they're sort of some of the more memorable ones, so they just come inside. That fellow stag there, that was not really much of a story behind him, but it was a bloody impressive shot with the old little treble 2. That one there I shot the 6.5 old Mauser action rifle. That was not much of a story behind him either, but the story that surrounds that stag was quite a good one. More to do with pig hunting, of all things. But yeah, anyway, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're into, you know, anything outdoors, homesteading, hunting, fishing, diving. The evolution of this channel is going to start to change a lot probably over the next sort of year. Lot of different things will start happening, and yeah, I'll be sure to sort of keep everybody updated with what's going on. But also, if you want more sort of up-to-date type things as well, jump over to Instagram. What else have I got? TikTok, Facebook, all those sorts of things. Anyway guys, have a good one. I'll see you next time.